Welcome to the lecture series of Mobile Computing and Wireless Communication. I am instructor Ms. Alpa Rupala. So today we are continuing with our topic, that is GPRS. Topics to be covered in this lecture. First of all, we will learn regarding to the billing and charging of GPRS. Then after the GPRS protocol structure, and then after difference between GSM and CDMA. So what is the billing and charging of GPRS? So basically in GSM, obviously you all know that when you are calling, that call is billed according to the time and distance. That means how amount of time you have made the circuit to be busy. Okay, which circuit you are using, that circuit switching technique you are using in GSM. So what amount of time period you are using that circuit, that will be considered as a charging functionality. And second one is distance. That means you are calling in a local area, you are calling in a national area, you are calling in an international area. According to it, the billing procedure will be considered. But if we talk about GPRS, then GPRS is totally different fundamental. If we talk about time and distance parameter in this particular GPRS topic, then suppose I am having 4G internet and suppose my friend is having 2G internet. I am downloading 2 GB movie. Okay, so if I am having 4G internet, then the time duration of download period will be less, approximately suppose 15 minutes. But with my friends 2G internet, that would be around 2 or 3 hours. So if we talk about the billing and charging in GPRS and considering time as a parameter, then that parameter will be totally wrong. So, and the second one is distance. Suppose we are considering it as a distance as a parameter of a GPRS billing and charging. So the distance, if I am using right now google.com, suppose for an example, then this google.com server may be situated in Ahmedabad or in Mumbai or in any another out of India, another country. Okay, so basically that particular fundamental of downloading with the distance should not be matter that much. Okay, wherever your server is, you must have some parameter of the distance in the billing and charging process of GPRS. So what would be the measurement parameter for the GPRS consideration, billing and charging? So the first one is destination and source address, that we have already learned that in a PDP context application process, we are considering the PDP address. So that address firstly, then after the uses of the radio interface, whatever whatever signal you have used, then after the usage of the external packet data network, because every time you are using your operator's network, that is not true. Okay, if you are roaming in another area and you are not having network of that operator, then that can be shifted to another operator's network. So that is what we are using external packet data network. And another, when you are using hotspot of your friend, at that time also you are using another operator's data packet network, so that will be considered very differently. And next one is uses of the packet data protocol. What PDP context application process you are using, that also would be in a consideration. Then after, the usage of the general GPRS resource and mobile station. These all are the billing and charging parameter regarding to the GPRS. Now, what is the actual parameter that would be followed for the charging functionality? The first one is duration. Now, duration means this is not what on time period you are on a phone call kind of duration. This duration means you are working, you are using internet from the which area, okay, and for what amount of time. Suppose I am using 4G internet, but I am using 4G internet for 2 hours, then obviously that would require 4 to 5 GB internet. Okay, then after the time period means you are using internet at a day period of time or night period of time, because we all know that the GSM is using 982 channels. Okay, and from that 982 channels we are occupying for the GPRS. So ultimately the remaining channels, obviously at the night time the phone calls duration will be very much lesser. So ultimately the remaining, whatever the remaining from the GSM, that all channels will be considered for the GPRS. So at the night time your GPRS pack will be very lower, that we have already experienced before 2 to 3 years. Then after the volume, what volume, that means you are using 4 GB internet or 5 GB internet or 6 GB internet according to it. Then after the location, obviously from where you are using. Suppose I am from Ahmedabad, then my charge package will be different. If I am from Delhi, then my charge package will be different. If I am from Mumbai, then my charge packet will be different. So according to operator and according to location, the packages will also be different. Then after the flat rate, that means we are paying some amount of money for particular data package. That means suppose nowadays we are using 1.5 GB internet or 2 GB internet per day, okay, as a 4G internet, and then after unlimited 2G internet, okay, and for that we are already paying them flat charges. That means 600 rupees per month or 700 rupees per month approximately. Next one is free charge. That means obviously one company have already given the internet package for free for longer period of time. That is the free charge. Then after quality of service, you are using 2G internet or 3G or 4G, that depends. That will also be counted for your charging functionality. Then after the SMS, obviously you all know that we are receiving the SMS from the operator. That SMS will also be included with the some amount of charging in it. And reverse charging, that means it is not true that every time whenever we are downloading at that time we are using internet. Even though when we are uploading at that time also we are using internet. That is the reverse charging. And the video service, whatsoever SMS or whatsoever another service you are using for that, like WhatsApp call, we are using the call, right, from the internet, that also will be considered for the usage of your data. So these all are the charging parameter for the GPRS. Now the next topic is GPRS protocol structure. You can see an example in the diagram that we are having the GPRS protocol structure, in which we are having MS, BSS, SGSN and GGSN. Now MS is what, your mobile station. Then after BSS is your BTS and BSC combination. SGSN is the heart of your GPRS and GGSN is the gateway for two different protocol structure. So if we talk about the protocol structure in GPRS, then basically we are having four type of interfaces. The first interface is UM or air interface. That UM or air interface is basically between MS and BSS. The second interface is GB internet. Interface. Now GB interface is between BSS and SGSN. And then after, the third one is GN or GP interface. That GN or GP interface is between SGSN and GGSN. Now the GN and GP is totally two different fundamentals. GN interface will be for common SGSN and GGSN. Okay. And GP interface will be for two different PLMNs, SGSN and GGSN. And the fourth interface is interface between MS and SGSN. Interface between MS and SGSN. So these all are the protocol structure basic interfaces. So for each and every interface we are having a different kind of protocols. So here are listed the different full forms of these protocols. Obviously in this particular subject you must have knowledge of all the acronyms with the full forms. So basically we will learn each and every one in detail. You can see in the background that we are having our diagram. First of all, we are learning regarding to the UM or air interface. Okay, so in UM and air interface we are having first one, that is radio link control, that is RLC. You can see that we are having three layers basically: physical layer, data link layer and network layer. In data link layer you can see that we are having radio link control. Okay, now what is the basic function of radio link control? So this particular radio link control will be for the reliable link between the mobile station and BSS. Okay, the next one is medium access control. Okay, that is MAC, medium access control. Basically MAC is assigning particular GPRS radio channels. Okay, the MAC controls and access the signaling procedure for the GPRS radio channels, and it is also basically working for the multiplexing of signals on the RLC. Now the next one, for UMN interface, we are having the radio frequency layer, that is RF, radio frequency layer. You can see in physical layer, radio frequency layer protocol, RFL. So basically RFL is working for the physical channel management, then it is working for the modulation and demodulation, it is working for the transmission and reception of the radio blocks. So these all are the basic functions of the RFL. Now next one is physical link layer, that is PLL. Now physical link layer is basically support system of RFL. Okay, it is a support system for RFL. So whatever functionality we are performing by RFL, that all will be handled by the PLL. Okay, and other than that, the channel coding and decoding will also be managed by PLL. Now the next one is GB interface. You can see that this is the GB interface. It is the interface between BSS and SGSM. Okay, now what is the protocol for that? That is, first protocol is BSS GP. That is BSS GPRS protocol. Okay, BSS GPRS protocol. So now this BSS GP is basically working for the routing and QoS management. Okay, this protocol is working for the routing and QoS management. Now the next protocol is network service. This network service is basically working for the PDU. Okay, whatever functionality we are performing with BSS GP, the NS will support them according to it. Now all the data will be traveled by the frame relay from one interface to another interface, and that also will be managed by the network service. Now the next protocol is interface between SGSM and GGSM, that is GN and GP interface. Now you can see in diagram that GN and GP interface is basically we are having the first protocol, that is GPRS tunneling protocol. Okay, now GPRS tunneling protocol is basically working for a transfer of data from SGSM to GGSM. Okay, now this can be of the two type of transfer. It can be in a same PLMN network, or it can be in a different PLMN network. So if we talk about the same PLMN network, then basically GN interface will be considered, and if we talk about the different PLMN network, then GP interface will be considered. Now next one is TCP/IP. So basically TCP/IP, you all know that transmission control protocol and user datagram protocol. So TCP/IP is basically for connection oriented data transfer, and UDP is for connection less data transfer. And then after the internet protocol, that is IP. IP is obviously, we all know that for networking, in the network layer, the basic functionality in TCP/IP model also. What is the IP performance for the routing, proper routing mechanism? So here also it is giving the proper routing mechanism to the packets. Obviously we are using PDUs. So for that purpose we are having this. So these are the all three interface. Now fourth one interface, that is interface between MS and SGSM. So between MS and SGSM we are having the two basic protocols. The first one is SNDCP, that is Subnetwork Dependent Convergence Protocol. Subnetwork Dependent Convergence Protocol. Now this protocol is basically working as a session and session layer or application layer in your presentation layer in your OSI model. So whatever compression, segmentation and multiplexing functionality they were performing, that all functionality will be considered in this. Okay. Now next one is LLC, that is logical link control. We all know that on a multiplexing we are using on a single channel multiplying multiple channels or multiple user data. So that is what logical link management. That logical link management will be performed by this LLC protocol. So this was all about the GPRS protocol structure. Now the next topic is difference between GSM and CDMA. Obviously we all know that priorly we were using the CDMA mobile phone which were not having the SIM card. Obviously they were on the fundamental of CDMA. Nowadays we are using GSM which is having the SIM card, separate slot. In CDMA, we could not had the we didn't had any of the functionality of changing our mobile number. If we wanted to change our mobile number, then we need to switch our phone also. We need to purchase another phone with the another number. But nowadays by the GSM we are having the same mobile phone, but we are changing just SIM card to change our mobile number. So this is the basic difference between GSM and CDMA, but we are using CDMA technology in a GSM also, because the CDMA is very much secure. After that, obviously after that the R&D done was there. According to that R&D done, we had concluded that the CDMA is a very good technique for multiple access mechanism. So we are using CDMA multiple access mechanism in GSM also. So now what is the difference between CDMA and GSM? The first one is GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication, whereas CDMA stands for Core Division Multiple Access. Okay, so now storage type, obviously SIM card was required for GSM, whereas the CDMA is only inserted in the internal memory. So your mobile phone is what your SIM card, kind of. Next one is signal quality and coverage area. So ultimately the GSM is having the good coverage area, and CDMA is having unlimited cell size. Okay. Next one is technology. The GSM is using CDMA and FDMA technology, and CDMA is using CDMA technology itself. Next one is what kind of devices we are using. So GSM is using GPRS class A data rate and device, class A device also, and CDMA is not using nothing. Next one is security parameter. GSM is having less security, but CDMA is having very high security due to the unique code provided to the users. Next one is data transfer rate. Data transfer rate of the GSM is approximately 384 kbps, whereas the CDMA data transfer rate is up to 2 Mbps. Now the carrier channel of GSM will be of 200 kHz, whereas the CDMA will be of 1.25 kHz. Time slot for the GSM is 8 time slot for the full rate channel, but CDMA is having 64 time slot, and for half rate channel GSM is having 16 time slot and CDMA is having 128 time slot. Now uplink frequency range and downlink frequency range. We all know that uplink frequency range of the GSM is 890 to 915, okay, and downlink range is 915 to 960. CDMA is having uplink range 824 to 849 and downlink frequency range 869 to 894. Now carrier bandwidth bit rate of GSM is 2,70,833 kbps, whereas of CDMA is 1,228.8 kbps. Now modulation technique. GSM is using GMSK, whereas CDMA is using QPSK or BPSK. Now what is this particular SK technique, that is shift keying technique? So we will learn this in a modulation topic in detail. Now handoff, GSM is using hard handoff, whereas CDMA is using soft handoff. Economy, GSM is expensive, whereas CDMA is lower expensive than GSM. And system capacity, the GSM is using fixed and limited, both one, and CDMA is using flexible and higher than the GSM. So thank you. We have learned today regarding to the GPRS, billing and charging functionality of GPRS. Then after the then after the GPRS protocol architecture and difference between GSM and CDMA. Thank you. We will meet in our next lecture.